Hey there, and welcome to GamePoints episode 105, our weekly little get-together. We talk about the past week in gaming news. I am always your host, Stephen Brown. Joining me today is...
David Smith, that's me. Hello.
Hey, David. Tonight, we have some more developments on the Campo Santo versus PewDiePie nonsense. A big name leaves Naughty Dog. We have some Nintendo Direct news to get over, but... if you do happen to be watching us live, feel free to join in on any of those topics. This isn't just us going back and forth. We do like to take questions from the chat when we can. Also, if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, feel free to comment down below what your opinion on is, as well as we do want to hear from you guys. Before we start off with the heavier news, David, let's go ahead and update something that we were talking about last week, and that is specifically the Campo Santo PewDiePie drama that's been going on.
Idiots on all sides. Let's get into it.
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on it. Turns out a lot of PewDiePie fans didn't, and just a lot of people in general, specifically YouTube streamers, didn't care too much for Campo Santo threatening to use the DMCA in a, in my opinion, punitive manner. Because they're not going after PewDiePie for being, or for using their stuff without their permission, or like... clearly infringing on copyright. They're going after him because they just don't like something that he said, and what he said was fucked up. But you start crossing the gray area, and his supporters have taken to their game page on Steam and are currently review bombing the hell out of it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I have the Steam page up right now. A game that used to be 84% positive has gone down to 45% positive over the past 30 days. People are pissed.
Yeah. All the front page reviews are all not recommended.
Yeah.
Most of them just saying things directly related to this. Not a lot of them actually critique the game itself. Every once in a while you find one of those in there, but most of them are directly related to this topic.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Recently posted, copyright claims are bullcrud from one person. The next, I don't support the abuse of copyright law to censor things. Also, the ending really disappoints. I agree. I gave Firewatch I think a 9 or something at the site that I write for, but man, that ending sucked. $20 for a game that you can only play once, and in my case, I only got $2 an hour worth. I will never support this childish developer again. That's clearly in reference to the DMCA. Dev is a spineless cuck. Oh yeah, this game is way too short for what I paid. For developer, good game, but for developer, nothing under there, but their name is I really love Undertales, but weird. Okay.
Yeah, basically. That's what's going on.
You're also
dumbass said a dumb thing.
Yeah.
And then an also dumbass said an equally yet far more dangerous thing. Well, depending on the circle. I'm talking specifically about video game streaming, like something that affects the livelihood of streamers.
I could potentially make the argument that PewDiePie,
I was actually going to go back
yeah.
on that almost immediately, because I'm pretty sure PewDiePie's thing hit way more people than Campo Santos did. So, yeah, just my bad. Whatever.
It's a case of two wrongs don't make a right here.
Yeah, everybody involved is retarded.
Yeah. Oh, you said the R word. Now we're going to get struck down. My review of Firewatch is going to get DMCA'd now.
That sounds right.
Damn it, David. What's wrong with you? But yeah, so Firewatch getting review bombed extremely hard. That's a very big drop, even for review bombing. A lot of people are pissed. And it's kind of interesting to suddenly see all these journalists coming out of the woodwork, many who somewhat stayed silent on this topic. He'll go, yeah, review bombing suck, and that's the end of it. But now a lot of them are calling on Steam to clamp down on this. You had one of them at Games Industry About Biz even saying he deleted his Steam account over this. I don't necessarily believe him, but because that's kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face, especially if you're a games journalist.
To be fair, he didn't say that he deleted it. He said he attempted to delete it, and he was in contact with Steam support, who had sent him a completely unrelated message. If you read his whole blog post.
I could have sworn I must have missed it. I could have sworn I remember he said...
I'm going to, and I attempted to, but at this time...
Yeah, he is currently in talks with Steam to delete his account.
Yes.
That I did read. That's why I'm getting that. I thought he updated it later saying that he did, but maybe not. Either way, nice signal there. We're all aware of how virtuous you are. We appreciate that. But it's amazing that now that one of their critical darling, Campo Santo, is made up of a bunch of people who are very friendly with game journalists, and now they're demanding Steam must change user reviews, and they're targeting Steam over this. It's like, motherfucker. Review bombing, it might be pointless, it might be shitty, but it's one of the few avenues of consumer advocacy people actually have. Because if you say something bad about the game, even if it's valid, just get deleted off the forum.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's one of the few ways that consumers can show their displeasure with something that dev has done. But now that's kind of affecting one of their really good friends and someone that kind of thinks lockstep with a lot of them. Oh my god, it's the worst thing ever now. Now, admittedly, some of them have said, hey, review bombing sucks, don't do it. But there was never this degree of backlash against it until it was one of their darlings that got hit with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's been mostly ignored. Like every time something big happens, a game gets review bombed, you see like 1 or 2 articles about it,
It's a
and
footnote.
Then no one says shit about it the rest of the time. It's just
Yeah,
kind of a thing
it's a
that
footnote.
happens.
That's why there's a bit of there's a bit of hypocrisy with this. Oh, woe is me. Steam is horrible and their user base sucks. It's like, no,
Steam's always been horrible.
Yeah, you're pissed off
user
because
base
it's
has always sucked,
it's
so
your
does
side.
Every user base. It turns out people suck.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's just friends of theirs getting hit this time around, and so they're a little bit more vocal about it than before. Anyways, I would be very curious to know how much Steam sales and review bombing in general actually affect sales of the game.
Well, most of the time when this is happening, the game is kind of out. There's not a ton of times where the review bombs are hitting like right as the game comes out, unless it's a game getting review bombed because it's actually trash. Case in point, most WB PC releases.
Yeah, and they serve as warnings.
That a bomb. That's just a poorly reviewed game because it's not a good game.
And you're not going to really affect bonuses. A lot of people go, oh, if we drop the Metacritic score down, people won't get bonus stats. Like, Metacritic score bonuses are only tied to actual critic reviews, not user reviews.
Also, those are for like some serious AAA games, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, depending on what it is.
I don't think most teams give themselves a bonus if they get something on Metacritic.
I think there was the biggest example I can think of that was, and I could be wrong on this because it's an older example, but when Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas, they missed out on a massive bonus because they had 89
so it was like an
instead
extra
of
$1
90.
million because they got an 88 instead of a 90.
Yeah, and it was one site that drove them down. So there's some...
Go review bomb that guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. But yeah, so Firewatch is getting review bombed. If you are going to leave a comment on the Firewatch reviews, I completely understand using it as an avenue for consumer advocacy because there are so few ways you can get a message across. But don't go around making shit up about it either.
Yeah, make honest, just true accusations about the game.
Yeah. This is always what I say when people scream out things like the biggest example I can think of is when people during the Obama term were screaming out that Obama's a Muslim. It's like, no, there are other things you can criticize him on, but let's not say that because that's just not true. There are so many other things that you can hammer Firewatch on. You don't have to make shit up to
we have
to
plenty of things to complain about. We don't have to make up new ones. Stick
Anyways.
to the good ones. Stick to the classics, really.
That wraps things up with the Firewatch review, Bob. David, why don't you go ahead and tell us what else has happened with this?
Not really. So we can actually jump into the fact that, during all this, the reason this is getting reviewed is because Campo Santo put the DMCA strike against PewDiePie's videos, and YouTube has actually accepted them.
Yeah.
Last week we were kind of skeptical on what exactly happened. We knew the video was pulled down. It turns out what had happened is PewDiePie had actually marked the video as private, but they actually proceeded with the DMCA strike and forced him to pull it.
Let me pause you right there because to me that just sounds fucking vindictive.
Oh yeah, he took the video down so that no one could watch it, and they still put the DMCA strike on it.
Yeah, they are actively going out of this way to fuck him over.
Yep. PewDiePie did put up a video in response, basically saying that it was unlikely to hold up in court. He mentioned the fact that if he gets 3 DMCA strikes on his channel, it gets his channel shut down. Quote, he said, "You could say this is an attack on me, on my livelihood, This seems like more than just grandstanding. This seems like an attack to me, end quote.
And it does feel that way. If he in fact, now we only have his word to set it on. I can't see his channel's statistics. I can't see the order of events on here. But if we take him at his word that he set the video to private, he took it down out of respect for them, and they DMCA'd it anyways, that is all kinds of fucked up.
So the funny thing to me is that I don't give two shits about PewDiePie.
No, I can't stand him. I don't like his content
channel,
at all.
If his channel gets 3 strikes and is pulled from the internet, I'm not going to lose any fucking sleep. The guy's a piece of shit. But this isn't the right way to do it.
No,
like
absolutely.
Forcing him out with DMCA strikes because you disagree with him in America is bold. He's not even American. I don't know. It's weird. But
there's something distasteful about it.
I'd rather just
it
see
leaves a
him
bad
crash
taste
and
in one's
burn
mouth.
on his own.
Phoenix 100K in chat says he is an easy public target to, quote, make an example of. And that's exactly what it is.
It's spooky. They're playing with stuff that we don't want them to play with.
PewDiePie did say that it's unlikely this will hold up in court, but I wouldn't necessarily back him up on that. I have heard legal experts on both sides more or less say, hey, this is legal, this isn't legal.
No one has any fucking clue.
No, I will link his video down in the description below. And on his video, he links to a website arguing, saying that this is a legal strike, and another site that says this is an illegal strike. So I don't want this to be the test case, and it sounds like the way he was speaking in the video makes me think that he is going to go to court over this. And I'm really concerned about that, because I don't want this to be a test case.
Because that's going to make a precedent.
Yep.
And here's the thing, is in order for us to keep like streaming rights and Twitch being a thing, because we got to talk about the fact that if the DMCA comes down and says that, hey, guess what, you can't actually stream or put up Let's Plays of somebody else's content, even if you own the game, then all of this shit comes crumbling down instantly.
Yeah, and a lot of people are happy with that. That's what... Go ahead.
My concern with that is that our advocate, the person that we'd have to side with in that fight, is fucking PewDiePie.
Yeah.
That doesn't sit well with me.
What's driving me nuts,
too? Have you seen that dumbass's face? I don't think he would do well in a court of his peers.
What's driving me a little nuts, too, is I'm also... I know I keep using this nebulous term, game journalists, but people know who I'm referring to. These are the verified on Twitter blue hashtag mark guys. And they are all cheering, saying things like, yeah, you're not fucking entitled to use a creator's work. Big surprise. I'm like, motherfucker, you are extremely biased in this conversation, like we are. We are trying to make a livelihood off of this. So we have a horse in this matter that PewDiePie gets off with this. They equally have a horse in this game because streaming and Let's Plays and YouTube reviews are kicking their ass.
Oh, yeah. Why would I go and read like a 3,000 word review when I could just watch a 2-minute video?
Yeah, and it's going
that actually has gameplay in it.
Yeah.
That'll give me a better idea if I want something or not.
So, regardless of what side you hear this from I hate the term traditional games press, or from a jackass Twitch streamer with a microphone and a piss poor show, keep in mind every single person talking about this topic has a fucking stake either in one side or the other. So go out, do the research, make your own opinion. The best I could do is try to give you a somewhat unbiased view on it, and the honest answer is Campo Santo might have a case here, but honestly, we don't fucking know, because the entire thing's gray area, and the DMCA is decades behind where it needs to be. Much like many laws are, they have not caught up with how technology is currently used.
Run by all white dudes.
Yeah.
You really can't trust to do anything.
All it takes is one technophobic judge to fuck up everything that will have repercussions all the way down to the bigger gaming sites like IGN, which stream video games live every Tuesday or so, or Thursday or something like that. Maybe it's every other day now.
Who knows?
So this shit has the potential to affect everyone on down, and it can dramatically change how content is created on the internet. So for anyone cheering Campo Santo saying, yeah, DMCA, the fucking racist, you better watch out, because the ends do not always justify the means.
Yeah, I'd still rather have that prick just like hang himself.
Nah, that's not wish death on people. Come on now. We
Whoa, whoa,
went
whoa, 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 whoa,
hard
whoa.
on 4 weeks not wishing death threats on someone.
Not literal hanging. I meant his career.
Okay. I'm just saying we can't say that because we went hard on one particular individual and people going after that individual saying things like kill yourself. So gotta draw a hard line there.
I was specifically talking about his career.
Okay. Just to make that clear.
Yeah. You got any other dumb shit you want to talk about?
Absolutely.
You fucking would.
So there's this new game out called Destiny. I'm sure you've all heard of it. Destiny 2.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's good enough for a sequel?
Apparently it's really good from what I hear. I know I've never heard of it myself, but apparently all the cool kids are playing it. Well, some of these cool kids found something in the game they didn't like, and this article is via Forbes here. Bungie is removing Destiny 2 gauntlets that resemble a 4chan hate symbol. As you can see right here, the gauntlets in question are the Road Complex AA1, and they are green with a logo on there that is reminiscent of the flag of Kekistan.
Huh?
Exactly. So Kekistan is a online parody of identity politics, right?
Is it just a bracket and a less than or greater than, and then an equals, and then a...
Yeah, let's see if the article... There we go. That's the Kekistani flag right there.
Also, what the fuck is up with their naming conventions? I was listening to people list off a bunch of Destiny gun names recently, and seriously, what the fuck are you doing, guys? That shit's all named the stupidest way I could possibly imagine. I don't know what they're doing.
So,
anyway.
Kekistan, like I said, is a parody of identity politics, and here is their flag. It is deliberately designed to look like the Nazi flag. Just flat out. It's green and black instead of red and black. So, it's purposely designed to be offensive. The Kekistanis will tell you, hey, this is a way to mock everyone saying things like, I'm oppressed, and as such, your opinion doesn't matter. So they created their own ethno-state.
Wait, you said
this is like
a 4chan thing?
Yes.
Like that place where all the idiots live?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't need to give two actual shits about this,
I'm not
right?
saying I agree or disagree with the quote-unquote plight of the Kekistani people. I am just telling you what they would tell you. They would say that since they are Kekistani, they are also oppressed, and as such, their opinion counts just as much as anyone else who says they are oppressed. It's a way to kind of counter the progressive stack, as it will.
These are just like nerds on the internet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I know. I'm not going to get into the detailed history of how this came around. I'm just giving you and the viewers an idea of what this may be. What eventually happened is that since it was usually used to attack leftist identitarians, the extreme elements of Black Lives Matter, for example, and it was used to kind of attack them, the opposite side started flocking to its banner. These are the white nationalists. So your Richard Spencer neo-Nazi types, the assholes at Charlottesville.
Oh, because they need more fucking symbols.
Yeah, and they started to kind of adopt Pepe and the Kekistani flag and saying that Kekistan was their own plight, despite the fact that 4chan will say, no, they're just as fucking dumb as well, but the media didn't run with that. They ran with, Kekistan's a white power symbol because it makes good headline. The Southern Poverty Law Center then came out and said that Pepe and Kekistan, all this stuff, were a hate group, and that was kind of that. I would look into the history of the SPLC before you start taking anything they say as gospel, but that is where the idea of this flag being and this movement being a white nationalist hate group came along, despite the fact that the people who started the Kekistan franchise said, no, they're just as fucking dumb. But anyways, these gauntlets had a symbol that looked like their flag. Someone got offended. Bungie said, okay, we're pulling all of it. We're not even going to flirt with this idea. And I completely understand why they did it.
That's a great idea. I'm with them. Good job, Bungie. Congratulations.
I personally think this kind of gives a little bit too much agency to real hate groups. Because what's Bungie going to do if they take that Bungie symbol, the Master Chief's crotch, and start using that as like their next neo-Nazi symbol to rally behind? Is Bungie going to change the Destiny logo?
Then they will probably change the Destiny logo.
No,
Much
they
like
won't.
the show Archer had to change the name of their spy organization.
That's right, they were called ISIS.
Because sometimes symbols or phrases will be taken up by the wrong group and then will have to be replaced.
And then they replace it, and where does it end? I think we give way too much agency to some of these
Remember that
things.
at some point that the Nazi symbol used to mean something radically different?
Cool. No,
If you
I
wanna go back
understand.
150 years. This is just how that shit starts. That's all I'm saying.
I understand. And if Richard Spencer's fucking little hate club starts exterminating people en masse, we can talk about it.
Just saying.
We are giving them way too much agency and way too much fucking control over what was a meme that the vast majority of people didn't mean that way.
I mean, I've never fucking heard of it.
It's
so I guess
just
I
like the
have that
Pepe
going for
thing,
me.
right?
It just sounds like another dumbass internet thing.
It is a dumbass internet thing. And Joe Rogan, excellent podcast, kind of touched on this a couple weeks ago when he was posting Pepe the Frog memes, and people were like, "How dare you post this white nationalist symbol?" And he's like, "This isn't white nationalist, man. Look, here's a picture of Pepe enjoying Christmas. Here's a picture of him getting baked. Just because a small group of assholes say that something is theirs doesn't mean it's something that's theirs unless we give it to them." And I'm on that same boat. This is only theirs if we give that to them, and we're giving it to them because we don't know how to fucking say no enough. Stop with this bullshit.
Fun. What the fuck do you want from me?
Yeah, I mean, you have
is
no interest in this conversation at all, and neither
This
does
is
the vast majority of
legitimately
people.
Too stupid to talk about. It's just inane. It's just garbage.
Yeah, it is. That I am more I am more upset that Bungie is actually upset over this than I am this getting taken out. Does that make sense? It's like, really?
I guess, but it sounds like people would have got mad at it anyway. So
people are just going to be up in arms about
move.
shit. At the end of the day, I just don't fucking care. I'm just trying to explain what this is to people who might be watching.
I'm just wondering if we could just take a minute, just together as a group, and just say that we're not going to protest.
Shadowy.
That we're not going to protest.
We're not going to protest.
We're not going to protest. Anyway, PC references aside, let's talk about other shit, like the fact that there was a Nintendo Direct this week.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Glixel, for compiling a sweet list of things instead of us watching a 49-minute video.
Yeah.
Let's just run through. You want to just rapid fire, jump back and forth? We'll talk about everything that happened in the Nintendo Direct this week. So,
Phoenix 100K in chat wants to say he can't be arsed to protest anyways, so.
That's fair. So, announcements from Nintendo Direct: Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon coming worldwide to the 3DS on 11/18 November. Get your Pokemon
games. They will sell. I want to mock them, but I really can't.
No. They didn't even change the name. It's just Ultra version of the last one. You want the next one? You want to just go back and forth?
Yeah, sure. Mario Party the Top 100 is coming out November 10th. Is a collection of the 100 best mini games for the series coming out to the 3DS.
No one knows what those games are. Could be any of them.
This sounds like a good idea to me, right? Instead of it makes sense. I can see this actually selling.
It's not
well.
Mario Party 10. It's just an amalgamation of all the damn Mario Parties.
Surprised it's not on the Switch.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Stop releasing 3DS games.
Yeah,
no one gives a shit about that.
Given that
handheld.
the Switch is big. Remember when the Switch was first getting pushed before it came out? It's supposed to be this, hey, bring it out to your rooftop party and play with like 20 people.
Hey, you know
How
what would
is
be
this
really
not
good on
on
that?
that?
A new Mario Party game.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
Or that could be the big surprise early next year. They
So
could
it
have
goes
they could
Nintendo?
actually have a new Mario Party come out like January, February.
Yeah, we'll see. Also coming out soon, Layton's Mystery Journey, Cottrell and Millionaire's Conspiracy on 10/6. Another Professor Layton-y
Yeah, you play his
puzzly
daughter.
nonsensey game. Get
They're
your
fun.
Layton.
I like the Layton games. Whole bunch more about Square's Project Octopath Traveler, because Square can't name anything normally.
They have a serious problem, but damn, this game looks good.
It does. It reminds me a lot of Valkyrie Profile.
Interesting.
Just the way it looks. Something about the way it looks reminds me a lot of that excellent franchise. Also, keep in mind, I don't think Project Octopath Traveler is the final game name of this game. I think that's a working title, but expect something of equal idiocy from Square.
All right, cool. Yeah, that actually looks pretty exciting to me. I'm not gonna lie. Also, the Nintendo Arcade Archives is a thing, and the first release for it is going to be the original Mario Brothers, which is going to launch on September 27th. Other games coming out include versus Super Mario Brothers, versus Balloon Fight, Ice Climber Pinball, and Clue Land. I don't know what the hell.
You don't remember Clue Land?
No,
it's probably before your time.
Probably.
Upset there's no Wrecking Crew.
All right, bunch of arcadey games, Nintendo related, coming to you.
Possibly one of the biggest surprises of this Nintendo Direct was the fact that Bethesda is bringing both Doom and Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, to the Switch. That's pretty
incredible, because I really need to know how Doom is going to look on that shit.
There's no way it's going to be 60, and I have a hard time accepting that game at anything less than 60 frames a second.
Yep.
By the way,
look bad.
By the way, I believe Pete Hines actually came out and said that Doom is the unannounced game that Bethesda was teasing when he tweeted out or interviewed if someone had mentioned, hey, we got one more game coming out this year. I believe that was supposed to be Doom. What else we got, David?
Surprising. Two new 2DS colors. There's going to be a white and orange one that looks like a creamsicle, and one that looks like a Pokeball. So that's exciting if for some reason you want a 2DS and not a Switch.
I'm shocked Nintendo's still supporting the 2DS and 3DS as hard as they are.
Well, the new Nintendo 2DS XL is a thing that just came out that has a horrible name.
Yeah.
They've replaced their 3DS line with a cheaper, simpler version that doesn't do all the same things, but does the stuff that actually matters, because 3D is a fucking fad. Hey, weird. Who saw that coming, everybody? But they're still putting a lot of support into it, even though the Switch is their new portable.
Yeah, I don't. It's
you got to have targeted markets. One of them costs, well, if you could actually find it for $300, that'd be one thing. But one of them costs about $500. The other one costs $150.
Yeah, and expect that price to go up for Christmas, by the way, parents. So have fun with that. But if you are thinking of buying a Switch, however, I would highly suggest picking up the Mario Switch bundle, which is launching October 27th. This is going to come with
looks awesome.
Yeah. It's a Nintendo Switch with two bright red Mario Pat color controllers, and Mario Odyssey looks fucking amazing.
Although, keep in mind, this Switch bundle, like all other Switch bundles and most Nintendo bundles nowadays, does not include a physical copy of this game. It is a download code.
You see it on the box, full game download right on there. So that's going to eat up some of your memory card right out the gate.
Please remember that the Switch comes with 32 gigs of onboard memory, and it has expandable storage, but most games take up a lot of it.
Yes.
Matter of fact, Switch owners are probably rapidly realizing that if you own more than one game, your fucking Switch is full, dog. Time to buy an SD card.
I'm really, really looking forward to that Mario game. It's I think the hat's called Cappy. It has a sister you have to save, Tiara. And the really annoying cousin no one talks about, Fedora.
All right, cool. Mario's got nipples. Did you hear about that?
Mario does have nipples. I saw that.
Also coming out, more information on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was releasing December 1st. It's going to have a Pro Controller and a Collector's Edition.
Yay! Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looks fantastic as well. I don't necessarily like that they made the art style a little bit more cartoony, but it still looks amazing. I loved Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one. I loved Xenoblade. Monolith Soft in general, I have a very long positive history with, going all the way back to Xenogears, I think is what that team worked on before they were Monolith Soft, I think. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like blanking out on it.
Their controller's got an X in it.
It does, because Xenoblade. Finally, we have Lost Sphere. It's going to be a modern take on traditional RPGs from Square Enix, coming out on January 23rd for the Switch. I know surprisingly little about it, despite it being on my list here. And there was also a whole bunch of other smaller scale stuff, but honestly, who cares?
Nothing that important. Watch the damn Nintendo Direct if you need to know more.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here, David, and it's a bit of a melancholy one. It's kind of sad to see this happen, but hopefully wishing him the best. Bruce Straley of Naughty Dog is leaving the company after 18 years. Bruce Straley, of course, was the director of Uncharted 2, The Last of Us, Uncharted 4. He was presumably working on The Last of Us 2, and it sounds like he is moving on to bigger... Oh?
He was not working on Last of Us 2.
He was not.
He actually... in a book I need to have you borrow that I learned more about the development of Uncharted 4... He was a dude that worked on the first 2 games, but he wasn't actually the director. But him and, I don't remember his first name, but Druckmann,
Neil
I want
Druckmann.
to say. Neil Druckmann got together and were basically bumping heads and then proceeded to make The Last of Us. And then the developer of the Uncharted franchise stepped down.
Yeah, Amy Hennig left.
And then they took over Uncharted 4. And from what I know, when The Last of Us 2 started being developed, only Druckmann started working on it, not Straley, because he's like, dude, I just crunched 2 games in a row. I'm taking a damn vacation. And
sounds like it's longer than a normal vacation.
Yep.
That book you're mentioning, by the way, is Blood, Sweat, and Pixels by Jason Schreier, if I recall, yes?
That's true. That dude can write a book, and he can get an interview.
Yeah, I definitely need to read that.
I'm a fan of that dude.
Quote from Bruce himself. It's impossible to summarize 18 of the most influential years of my career in a blog post, but here we are, today, with the heaviest hearts. I am announcing my departure from Naughty Dog. This has been the hardest decision of my career. Naughty Dog is home. The kennel is family. I have grown and learned so much from working with this incredible team, but after heading up 3 extremely demanding projects and taking some extended time away from the office, I found my energy focusing in other directions, and I slowly realized this is a signal for me to time to move on. Sounds a lot like you were just saying, that he is just like, I am fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I am very interested to see if he's going to go to another studio or just leave games entirely or create something on his own. Either way, Bruce Straley, you gave us a lot of great fucking games, and I wish you the best of luck out there.
That's off to you, dog.
Ugh.
2 meanings, because he's a dog. From the
Right,
kennel.
Naughty Dog, kennel. Right, clever.
Yeah.
It's clever.
Thanks. Clever. He'll probably do something. Maybe he'll have a Kickstarter. Who knows?
No, I think we're done with video game Kickstarters. I think video games on Kickstarter is now a thing of the past and over if and done. Phoenix 100K, before you go on, I do want to address this. Phoenix 100K in chat says, I was under the impression that Naughty Dog after Uncharted 3 is what Infinity Ward was after Modern Warfare 2. Like, maybe 40% of the original staff. I don't recall anyone major leaving Naughty Dog other than Amy Hennig. Amy Hennig left...
Well, what happened is Amy Hennig was working on Uncharted 4 with a really small team because Straley and Druckmann were working on Last of Us. And then she left because she was working with a skeleton team, and then they took over that project. But they had like 200 people working on Last of Us. So they still had, I think, most of the Naughty Dog crew. Just everyone was working on Last of Us, and no one was looking at Uncharted. And then they switched immediately from crunching on that to crunching on the other one.
Yeah, this wasn't like the mass exodus at Modern Warfare 2, where there was a interesting YouTube video going around where someone was playing the credits of Modern Warfare 2 and had everyone's name crossed off that left Infinity Ward, and it's an impressive list.
Yep.
So it was not an Infinity Ward.
If you want more Uncharted information, you should definitely read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels.
Heard nothing but great things about that book. Jason Schreier, if you're watching, send me a copy, and I might read it eventually.
You can send me another copy if you want to, or we can just go get a beer and pick that guy's brain a little bit. But anyway, Battleborn is dead in what could only be put under news we all saw coming. We have that category, right? In a message from Battleborn creative director Randy Varnell, Varnell has announced that there will be no more content updates for Battleborn. As of this week, there will be no more battle plans, and there's currently no planned content after the fall update. The game will still be continued for the moment. Battleborn is here to stay. Nothing is changing with Battleborn, and the servers will be up and active for the foreseeable future, but they are not doing anything else on that game. Battleborn had the unfortunate fate of launching against Overwatch. While it did come out first, its branding and marketing was a little vague. A lot of people thought it was just another hero shooter. I understand that it was a MOBA.
It did not do enough to set itself apart from an Overwatch clone.
Correct. It didn't really. It came out first, which is the only thing it had going for it. But the day Overwatch launched, it cut its price in half.
By the time Battleborn launched, people were already drawing like fucking Rule 34 of every single one of those characters in Overwatch. That's how defeated Battleborn was. It couldn't even overcome the porn people were making of Overwatch when it launched.
Yeah, and then it went free to play, and no one heard about it until now. It just didn't work.
Someone on Twitter summed it up the best, and I can't remember what account it was, but he essentially said the fact that news sites are covering this 4 days after the blog actually posted shows no one's paying attention to Battleborn anymore.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about it now, but we're a week late to everything, so we got that going for us.
Varnell does mention that they are moving on to a new project, so it's not like that team's getting broken up or disbanded, and it says, quote, "It is a bittersweet time when transferring one project to another, but also offers the opportunity to step back and enjoy the game recreated," end quote. You can only imagine that they're working on Borderlands 3 or whatever the next one is now, right?
That's got to be, yeah. They're going to make another one of those. They're like, this didn't work out. Let's go back to what we're really good at. Let's make a game that sells fucking gangbusters.
Right. And unfortunately, while we are on the topic of games really struggling to find their feet or anything like that,
against Overwatch,
we need to talk about Lawbreakers.
God damn, I really enjoyed that game too.
In an interview,
that's the frustrating thing. Is it for me? It came out late enough. I felt like it should do good. It's a totally different game. It's actually a shooter to me. Like, it feels proper. It feels like a real game. But anyway, you can talk about it. I'm depressed.
In an interview with GameSpot, Cliff Bleszinski says, quote, "I have to keep this game alive," while talking about low Lawbreakers numbers and his need to keep the game going. And I do mean low numbers. In fact, last week, I want to say that game had a concurrent peak of 181 players out of an all-time peak of just over 7,000. It's not looking good for the health of that game. Bleszinski told GameSpot that he has been troubled by the low player figures and talked about the mistakes he made in the direction of the game. He said launching near Destiny season probably didn't help, and he said he wants to be less of a dick with his interactions on people online. I do recommend reading this entire interview when you get the chance. It kind of breaks down exactly what he would have done differently, how he himself wants to grow as a person. It's kind of interesting. One thing of note that I want to mention about how dismal the player base currently is on Lawbreakers is that in Australia, where the interviewer was, they tried to make a multiplayer match on the PlayStation 4, and they had to stop after 45 minutes of trying because just no one is playing that game.
If you actually check the Steam charts, like right now, there's 118 people playing.
It's not good. That's bad.
You can't get in a match with that, and it's shitty because that game is actually really damn fun.
You know that this is another, just like Battleborn. This game was marketed piss poorly. This game didn't need to be marketed as, "Hey, it's a team deathmatch, shoot each other." You know what this game needed to be marketed as? Here's Quake 5.
Yes. God damn.
Because that's what this game is. This game is fucking Quake.
Yeah.
And they kind of dropped the ball on the marketing on this one. This game is what Quake Champions is essentially, kind of. A better one.
Well, then I'll call it more Unreal Tournament. I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah, they really...
Although he did launch it with no regular team deathmatch. It's got a bunch of weird, like, kind of capture-y modes. There's the whole 0G
and I think
in like the middle of every map, which is interesting.
I think he says launching without team deathmatch was a major mistake too in that article. I need to reread it to be sure.
And yes, Phoenix 100K is way the hell better than Quake Champions.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like Battleborn. They did not market it right.
That trailer they made with the remix of Spirit in the Sky is so damn good. Like, no joke, is one of the better trailers for a game that came out this year.
Anyways, I actually hope Lawbreakers finds its niche. Maybe it turns into a Warframe, which started unbelievably slowly and has slowly built itself up into what it is today. David, why don't you go ahead and lead us home with the final news story of the day?
This one is something that happened very recently, actually. Epic Games accidentally allowed Xbox and PS4 crossplay in Fortnite and disabled it. In a story by Kotaku, it looks like for a few brief hours, PS4 and Xbox One crossplay was available in Fortnite. Now the developer Epic Games says the feature was actually a bug, which the studio is referring to as a configuration issue, and they say they've fixed it. So we have to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
And we've talked about it before. We are well aware of the fact that the only barrier to you being able to play with all your friends, regardless of the system, is Sony. Because they're so far ahead, they have literally nothing to gain from having crossplay. And apparently, it's so fucking easy to do that a company can do it on accident with a bug.
It's a
this
switch.
Isn't no, we need to go and work with Xbox servers and Microsoft and Sony servers, and we got to do all this. No, fucking oops! I accidentally wrote this line of code that says cross compatible. Yes, let me just change that to no. My bad. Sorry, guys.
It's bad. Starting 2 days ago, when a Fortnite players on PlayStation 4 reported encountering Xbox One players in-game, it came as quite a shock. A player by the name of Precision, spelt really weird, was among the final 5 survivors of Fortnite's Battle Royale mode when he was killed by a player with a pretty unconventional name for PlayStation 4. Over Reddit private messages, he told me, I noticed the gamer tag of this dude and had a space in it, which was bizarre, because PSN names don't let you do that. Figured it was just a game glitching out, so I searched for his tag with an underscore on PlayStation Network without any luck. He then opened up his Xbox One, typed it in there for the hell of it, and found the player whose achievements backed up what he saw. There are a couple more stories of this happening. Kotaku did reach out to Epic Games and confirm that, quote, we had a configuration issue, it's now been corrected.
They also reached out to Microsoft, who declined to comment, and Sony, who didn't even fucking notice. Because they were too busy rolling in bathtubs full of money.
This shit,
like, we knew it was easy. And we knew it was possible.
Sorry, I was reading chat. I thought something just happened.
God damn, it's aggravating to know just how easy it is.
Yeah, it literally is only the console holders that are keeping this from happening. So, shit. One thing I didn't know, PlayStation 4 and PC have crossplay.
Yes. And PS4 and PC have crossplay in Rocket League as well.
Yeah.
And lots of things have crossplay.
Did we ever
everything
determine
can cross with PC? That's actually like really easy. And it turns out that it's just as easy for them to cross with each other. It's just they're just not doing it.
Did we ever determine the state of the Minecraft crossplay? Is it everything's crossplay except PlayStation 4?
I think PS4 can play with PC, but if you add anybody else to the list, then you can't play together.
Okay. But this also kind of blows out of the water.
Everybody else can play together, besides PS4.
This kind of blows out the water the idea that you need to make an Xbox Live gamer. Oh, no, because Microsoft owns that. That's why that was confusing. Never mind. I was going to say Sony said that you had to have a Microsoft Xbox Live profile, and that's one of the reasons why they didn't want it. But I forgot Microsoft owns Minecraft, so yeah, you do. Anyways,
which
shitty.
is funny because that's something that at any point in time Microsoft could have been like, hey, guess what? This is a cross-compatible game. And Sony's like, no, we're not doing that. And it's like, then you don't fucking get Minecraft.
Yeah, they could have done that.
Get fucking wrecked, destroyed, KO.
I think the reasoning why that is because Minecraft was already on Sony, and that might have been worked into the
they probably had a
deals when Notch sold the entire thing to Microsoft. That said, if they ever make a Minecraft 2...
Why would they do that, though?
More money?
I don't know. I don't think I would touch a Minecraft 2.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like EverQuest 2, where no one played it and just kept fucking playing EverQuest, but we'll see. Anyways, I think that wraps things up for new releases, David. These are all theoretical games like Minecraft 2 that we're talking about. But if I want to play something this week, what can I play?
Minecraft is a theoretical game?
Minecraft 2 is.
You fucking dumbass.
Minecraft 2 is.
All right, anyway, let's talk about new releases. That's stupid. You're dumb. All right. Shit coming out this week that you can buy. Some of it comes out tomorrow. Some of it comes out on Friday.
Let's trust the shit on this first one.
Yeah, for sure. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite coming out this week. PS4, Xbox One, PC. No Wolverine, no play. Go fuck yourself. Disney presents Marvel vs. Capcom.
It looks worse than MVC3.
God damn it! Just, I wanted it. I was so excited.
Like
and the more I learned about the game, the less excited I got about it.
No X-Men, no Wolverine, no Magneto. Horrible character models. Horrible character models.
Like the UI looks. I mean, I guess it could be fun, but honestly, at this point, just wait for DBZ Fighters.
That game's gonna be hot garbage, and you know it.
It's probably gonna be more fun than this.
Go play Tekken 7.
Tekken 7 though is fantastic. Man, the fighting game scene is just like rough right now.
Though surprisingly in better state than it has been the past few years. Yeah,
there's
Injustice.
Been, like, so many fighters that have come out recently.
Injustice 2 is doing really well.
Like Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom are just not as good.
Yeah, like Injustice 2 is doing surprisingly well. Tekken 7 did pretty well. Didn't KOF 15 just come out?
Not too long ago.
By just, I mean within the past like 9 months.
Although, yes, I'll actually agree with Phoenix in chat. It's not that there's a rough time for fighting games. It's that Capcom's contributions to fighting games have been rough.
Yeah.
And that does make sense. Capcom is just kind of being terrible. But like I was saying, all the other shit, like fucking new Guilty Gear is really good. New King of Fighters is good. Tekken 7 is goddamn phenomenal. So there's definitely fighters to play. I just maybe wouldn't play the Capcom ones until they get their shit together. Maybe they should just release another Street Fighter 2. I feel like that was the golden years.
Didn't they release that game like 20 times?
They could just release Street Fighter 4th Strike.
What else we got?
Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire for PC. It's that expansions for
Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2. That's a game that's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's fun. It's an MMO. It's fun. I like it. I'll probably get it.
Yeah. Also,
no monthly fee on Guild Wars, by the way. That's what really sells me. Sorry to cut you off.
What?
Guild Wars 2 is a no monthly fee.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I did like the way they did the first one, where you just bought the game and then you had it forever.
Yeah, same boat here.
It's an MMO. You just buy it and you have it. That's such a good
Guild
idea.
Wars,
good job.
Guild Wars actually, Guild Wars 2 specifically has done this kind of cool idea. Like they have the big expansions like this, which will allow mounts and like a whole bunch of new zones. But they have these things called living stories, where every couple months or so they just go, here's this free content update with a brand new zone, extra story, new waypoints, and it pushes the narrative on that way. And you don't have to pay for these things. It's designed to get you back into the game so you can buy all the pets and everything that go along with it. I really like their business model.
Sweet. Speaking of things that have good models, let's talk about Project Cars 2 and how that's coming out. This
game
week,
looks
PS4,
beautiful.
Xbox One, PC. Looks fucking gorgeous. We'll definitely lead heavy on the sim side of racing games. So if you're expecting like casual, fun, silly racing game, stay the hell away for it.
If you're looking for a real version of Gran Turismo this year, this is going to be it.
Yeah, goddamn, Gran Turismo Sport is not the game for me. I'm very upset about it. Also coming out this week, NBA 2K18, which is 2K's version of NBA. If you recall, EA's NBA game came out a week ago and also had like a 30-something% discount if you bought it and not this.
Yeah.
So,
well, funny. Also, if I recall, NBA Live 2016 or 2015, one of the two, right before they stopped making them there for a little while, the game was completely finished and they just chose not to release it. They said printing the disc. They didn't give a real reason for it, but just looking at that means in their minds, just even printing the discs was going to cost them more money than they were going to make off of it.
Yeah. Also coming out this week, Heat Signature for PC. That's coming out on the 21st. It's a Steam game. It's from the developers of Gunpoint. It's kind of like a indie arcade style game where you break into different spaceships and then try and get your way out of it. It's kind of like a puzzly, ambushy, strategy, adventure-y game.
And this thing's been in development forever. I remember seeing this back in 2012.
It looks pretty interesting, but yeah, it's been in development a while, and just take a look at it, see if you're interested. It might not be for you. It's definitely indie looking, if that helps. Like kind of, I don't know, what do you call those graphics? Low fidelity? Let's go with that.
Simplistic colors, simplistic design, but like simplistic's not the right word, but like think Monaco. If you ever played Monaco on PC,
yes,
similar idea or similar style, kind of. Not really. I'm being bad at this. Take a look at it. Go into your Steam browser, type in heat signature. It pops right up.
All right. If you're looking for other fighting games to play, Pokken Tournament DX hits Switch this week. So if you need something like that to play, you can look that way, or you could look at Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which is also releasing on Switch. So there's two alternate options, since MVC I don't think is on Switch this week. I don't believe. Someone can verify that for me. I liked the first Xenoverse game. That was pretty fun. And Pokken Tournament somehow has representation. It still has tournaments going on, so it's definitely playable. I haven't touched it, and I'm actually curious to, but I'll see if I get to it. Also coming out this week for PC, Echo, which is a game that looks dope as shit. The PS4 version is coming out in October. This is the game where you play as a character named N, who goes into a place called the Palace, and it studies everything you do in the game and actually starts making clones of you that it puts in the world who copy you. So every once in a while, the entire place shuts down, and when it boots back up, there's a bunch of copies of you in the palace. And if you've been playing really sneaky, well, those clones of you also tend to be sneaky. If you've been running around and shooting things, those clones also tend to run around and shoot things. It actually learns from your behaviors and programs the AI to mimic you. So if you're a hardcore stealth fan, it'll become a even harder core stealth fan. And every time the system resets, everything goes dark, the lights go off, and you have like 60 seconds or so to just run around and do whatever the hell you want. But once the system reboots, those clones come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, kind of. I remember seeing this at PAX a couple years back. I want to get a hold of this.
It looks hella cool. And finally, for people like me who are just waiting for all these racing games to come out, the Forza 7 demo hits Xbox One and PC this week at some point. It's supposed to be out tomorrow, but we don't know exactly when that release is coming because it's kind of on Microsoft whenever they decide to update the damn store. I think it's supposed to have 3 tracks, 3 cars, and just give you an idea of like all the weather effects and all that fun stuff. But hey, a little bit of Forza 7 for you.
So before we wrap up the show, Phoenix 100K in chat was so kind as to link this to us here. Let me go ahead and bring it up here. Apparently, Marvel vs. Capcom had a collector's edition. And if you got the collector's edition, it was supposed to come with this gem box full of 6 Infinity Stones that glow up. Well, Twitter user Yohosi posted this picture right here of the marketing for it and the reality of it. And goddamn, it looks like someone
Easter eggs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like someone just dyed some Easter eggs pastel and put them under lights. It looks fucking hilarious. If you're wondering, this looks like the same cheap plastic that the Dark Souls Estus flag used, according to her. That is hilarious.
I've been saying this for quite a while, but stop fucking buying collector's editions sight unseen, because a lot of the newer ones are just so fucking shitty. I will always, always, always go back to when I bought the collector's edition of the first fucking Assassin's Creed, a game I was so outrageously stoked for, that was supposed to come with the actual like statuesque like action figure of Altair, and it ended up being this like fucking 3-inch plastic, painted worse than like a 4-year-old could do it, piece of shit little standee. Oh my god,
it's bad. This is truly hilarious because
unless it comes with a fucking mini fridge, just stop with the goddamn collector.
You know what this is? You know what this image is? It's Marvel vs. Capcom 3 compared to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Ha! Zing! Got him.
That's what this image is.
Let's wrap it up there.
Thank you, Phoenix 100K in chat, for pointing that out, and thank you, Yohosi, on Twitter for making that comparison. And with that, I think that is going to wrap things up. Thank you for watching GamePoints episode 105. We do stream here live at Twitch TV/GamePoints every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you wish to join live in the chat, we try to interact with you whenever we can, ask questions, answer questions, and all that good stuff. And if you like what you saw, please feel free to follow down below. If you can't watch us live, tune into us to YouTube, where we put up our old shows. Just type in GamePoints, one word, we pop right up there, and do the same there. Like, subscribe, comment, dislike, whatever you guys want. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can do so at GamePoints PC. You can follow us individually. I am CapitalistPig21 at at CapitalistPig21. My name's Stephen Brown. I was
Nice
like,
job.
that backwards. That over there is David Smith at PowShot_story. This has been Game Points, and until next Monday, we're out of here.
Don't pre-order.